Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the House of Commons, where we keep it real. We don't sugarcoat anything.
Yes, yes, yes.
And now the direction we're going with this is, we are going to be discussing topics suggested by the fans. So when you guys, the viewers, you guys watch, you make your suggestions, you can reach us through Instagram, Facebook. The House of Commons will just open a page on Instagram, so you can reach us directly. There's no reason why you can't reach us. So, my name is Pascal Atuma, and to my left,
my name is Timi Carter.
VDD
Ola George.
House of Commons.
House of Commons.
Welcome.
I like the way you say VDD though. Is your name VDD?
Alright, usually you don't see our phones. Usually you don't see our phones with us, but we have our phones today because we need to be making reference. Our topic today is police versus blacks in North America.
Who?
The brutality, the experience that the blacks have been facing in the hands of police in North America, I'm talking about the United States of America, Canada, is getting to the point where something got to give.
Wow.
Something needs to happen.
Wow.
We need to talk more about it. But before I proceed, let me have Valentine tell a story of why this particular one has to come up. Valentine, please tell the story.
Yes, this one is really dear to me as well, because I was just reading an article, just because we all know a couple of weeks ago, with the young 22-year-old black guy, Stephen Clark, that was shot, I think about 22 times, and he was running, and he was shot on in his back, and all he had was his cell phone, and it was shot in his grandmother's backyard, or his mom's yard, right? And the cops shot him, and they found a cell phone, just a cell phone, as a black young man with a little child, right? And they shot him. How do you shoot a black man running away from you 22 times? 20. I can't even count. It's probably more than 22 times. I don't know how many shots hit him. And this is consistent from every year, every month it's been happening. This is
it was an accident.
It's ridiculous. And the worst of it is that
the cops don't get that.
The cops they're gonna get away with it.
They go home and it's whatever.
They probably gonna get away with it. So if you look at how this has been happening, from Philando Castile to Alton Sterling to Gregory Gunn to Terrence Grutcher and now to Stephen Clark, and we're still having this problem, Mr. Pascal.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at that particular one I saw yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm looking for what you go on.
It's really appalling, all that.
It's absolutely appalling.
Let's go with you.
It's absolutely appalling, and it's not changing. The thing about it is, it's unfortunate that these young men and women are the names that you were calling out today, but a year ago there was another set of names. 5 years ago it was another set of names. 50 years ago there was names. And it's continuing the cycle is not stopping. The thing about it is, when people fought in civil rights, we're going to talk about the North American culture for a second, civil rights, and to get equal opportunities, to get all of these different things, I don't think anybody would think that in this day and age that we would be still suffering from the same topics. So for example, you think, okay, yes, now at least the police, there's other people who look like us who are actually policewomen and policemen in the army and the military. You would think that these things would not continue to happen, but it does, and the people still get off today, and it makes no sense. We could justify it. We of course we have vigils. People now, Black Lives Matter, fighting against it, protesting. But it continues. Why is this continuing to happen? Why isn't there a stop? Even when there's a mayor a black mayor or a mayor of a different, it's not just within the blacks, it's also Latinos as well being marginalized and stuff like that. So my question to even all of us here is, why is this happening? I don't know if we have the answers for that.
We're gonna try this to attack it.
Ola, this was the article I read yesterday. And the reason why I say we must discuss this, Ola, please read it with your own voice. So that your own voice. Just read this article to the viewers.
Okay.
This is from CNN.
This is from CNN. Ola, read it, please.
Okay, perfect. Many high-profile cases have ended up with no charges against officers. There are about 1,000 police shootings each year in the U.S., studies show. Few police officers ever face trial for shooting deaths, let alone are convicted. In recent years, fatal shootings of unarmed black men across the United States have sparked outrage and concerns over police use of lethal force. Despite several high-profile cases and increased video evidence, convictions have been rare. One researcher reported that there are about 1,000 police shootings each year in the United States.
No, go for it.
I'll continue on.
Okay.
Between 2005 and April 2017, 80 officers had been arrested on murder or manslaughter charges for an on-duty shootings. During that 12-year span, 35% were convicted, while the rest were pending or not convicted, according to the work of Philip Stenson, an associate professor of the criminal justice at the Bowling Green State University in Ohio.
Okay, you see, I read this article to the end yesterday, and it made me come up with a title in my head.
Is it facts?
It's a case of the hunter and the hunted. I read it last night, and it bothered me a little bit, so that's why I was looking for it, so you guys can see. My take on it is this. I need all black, especially black youths, between the ages of 16 and 35, to see yourself in North America as a hunted.
Deep.
It's a different concept.
But yeah, you know, because you see,
Different concept.
it's very painful. It's very
Absolutely.
painful. Right? Okay, now, some people will argue with me. No, why should they see themselves as a hunted? Right? Some people will argue with me on this. Oh no, I'm not going to tell my child he's been hunted. You have two options. Either you tell your child he's been hunted so that he can protect himself.
Tell them the truth.
Or protect herself. Or you let him or her go out there and be killed. Because guess what? They don't give a damn. You see how many killings? Unarmed black people. How do you come into someone's backyard and say you suspect that a cell phone might be a gun, and you start shooting? Pa, 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 pa.
Sometimes little girls are shot. Little girls at stores that they thought was stealing candy or orange juice. This one, I was watching this article as well, and the storekeeper shot her dead. He thought she was stealing something in the store. So a little girl, she was about maybe 9 or 10 years old. Little girl, a little black girl. She was shot to death in a store because the storekeeper thought she was taking, I think, a lollipop or orange juice, something like that.
Okay, so
shot her dead.
So my own point of view is for how I think we should approach this. Please let all black families in North America tell their children, you have the right to be free. They say everybody is free, but everybody is not free. If you're going to school, you have your backpack, and the police guy pulls over, pump, pump, pump. Please don't do anything extra. If it says drop the bag on the floor, drop the bag on the floor, because you are the hunted.
Don't talk.
Because if a white kid is asked to drop the bag on the floor, and the black man said, no, I'm not going to drop it, what is going to happen?
Nothing.
Nothing is going to happen.
They'll talk him down.
But if a black kid going to school is being asked by a police officer to drop the bag and you refuse, they will shoot you.
They'll say you
saying that, or even if you try to get in your bag to get your cell phone, they will shoot you.
Touch nothing.
I want to
But do you understand what I'm saying? So that's where I'm going. Like the blacks in North America, all of us,
it's real.
should start seeing ourselves as the hunted.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. You have to move.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So if they say, I give you an example, that the guy that was shot, he knows he's black, like us. He knows if any wrong move they're gonna shoot. When they say stop, please stop. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand. Don't come back with an attitude.
Don't come back with the attitude, because see, if a white kid gives attitude,
he's allowed to, and
he's allowed to. He can go free. But if you give attitude, you're dead. If you die, who's gonna stand trial against them? We don't have any evidence, so it's gonna be what they said, and that's it.
I was just watching.
But do you understand where I'm coming from?
I want to add something. I just want to add something based on what you just said there. It just came out recently. I was watching something yesterday actually on the news where a gentleman, it came out that he was charged, you know, they said he was resisting arrest and all these other things like that, a gentleman out of the US. And now the police officer is admitting, this never happens, he's admitting that he falsified the information of the arrest. This was on the news yesterday that I saw it. And so that shows you, this is rare that somebody will, a police officer is going to admit that he falsified the information so that they drop the charges and stuff like that against him. But that shows you right there that, okay, this one came out and said he, you know, falsified it, but the amount of them that falsified, after they shoot and kill somebody in cold blood because of a cell phone or a planted knife or a planted weapon, I'm doing the finger quotes here as that's what they say. They say the person has a weapon. But did they have a weapon? Was the person resisting? Was the person rude? It's their word against theirs. So pretty much what Pascal is saying, I'll add to is just that. Just be smart, be wise in the streets. If you have your hood on, take the hood off. Half of the time, this hood situation has been such a big deal of people getting shot. You know, they thought you know, Trayvon Martin. There's so many people. So drop your bag. Even if you have your little friend next to you who's black or white or next to you and is kicking attitude, let them kick the attitude. You drop your bag and you stand right there. Let your parents deal with it after. Anything that anybody did unjustly, let them go and fight it later. Let your family do something about it later. Don't try to fight there because you're not on the winning side.
Yes,
you're not on the winning side.
You are the hunted and they are the hunters. Okay, Timi, go ahead.
I don't know much about the violence that's going on in North America. I mean, we do see it on the news. It's sad. Have I experienced it? Have I been to the US and dealt with corrupt cops or cops that would treat someone unfairly or kill someone? In this case, I wouldn't even say he's killed. They're murdering you. I went to school in Nova Scotia, Halifax. I did my bachelor's degree there. When I was a student there, I was privileged to live in one of the nicest areas in Halifax. So I was running back. I saw this same car parked on the other side of the street watching me. Literally just, he would drive a little bit, he will stop just to where he can see me, where he can still have a closer view of me. When I move a little bit further, he would drive further again. It was crazy because
I'm surprised he didn't even call the police, because for him to be taking all that time.
I think that was a cop. I think that was an off-duty cop.
Okay.
Because he had one of those off-duty cars, you know, they don't have the sirens on top, but you know he has the police cars.
Yeah.
So in my head, I was just thinking, I want to go. Obviously, I'm familiar with everything that's going on in the U.S., the whole racism stuff, the whole cops killing black people, if black young men in particular, if anything, because you know they are the targets. A lot of they are the hunted. So I wanted to go. I felt like I was in a position where this is Canada. I can have a conversation with him. I'm in the right to be in this area. I live here. I'm paying for this. I'm not just paying for the building. I'm paying for the location. But I just thought that this guy might kill me.
The funny thing is, because you were physically in Canada, I think that's probably why. Because if that happened in the U.S., depending on what state you're in,
that was really dangerous.
That they have grounds. You walked up and you looked like you were trying to rob them. Do you understand? I've heard stories recently.
So I'm gonna.
The one that shocks me is, okay, when they get these police officers that will kill these black guys, they will acquit them.
The cops don't show remorse.
Right.
So
but they will still pay the family of whoever is being
They
killed.
pay
Like the case
sometimes,
of something feeling in Castillo or something that happened last year.
Yeah, Philando Castillo.
Okay, what was the name?
Philando Castillo.
Where they paid huge money to the family but still acquitted the guy. So why are you paying the money then if the guy is not guilty?
But that's not even the norm.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
I guess
if the police officer is not guilty,
I guess they're just compensating for the loss of a family member.
There should be more. In the bad situation, they were able to get money from it, but half of the times they don't get money for it. Half of the times people didn't. Half of the times, in my
I don't think
personal
any amount of money is worth anybody's life.
There's nothing. There's no amount that's worth anybody's life. But I think half of the time that this actually happens, it's all covered up. It's all where either they're going to say that he resisted arrest, they found a gun on him, they found a knife on him. It's only nowadays that they're saying they found cell phones. Give it even 10 years ago, 5 years ago, last week, you know, half of the time, they're not admitting to nothing. If they made a mistake and shot somebody in error, if they never, go back to when we thank God we start to get all these cameras and stuff with Rodney King beating. Even after, you know, all the riots that happened from that, but it's only because it was caught on our cameras by accident. And nobody, and saw what happened with that. Everything went away. So the point is, even when it's caught on camera, even when people are getting shot, you know, the dash cams on the police, nothing is being done. So to me, this is beyond the mentality of the police. It's the mentality of their the people that they report to. It's the mentality of the judges. It's the mentality. It's the DEA, the internal investigations. What in what book are they studying from that it says it's okay? How come they're getting off? What loophole of the law are they all using? Because they're all, most of the time, what do they say? Like 70% of the time they're getting off. There has to be a loophole.
Okay, Val, you go before I speak on what Ola said. You go.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just still stuck on the death of Stephen Clark and how that was brought up to the White House, and then the basically what comes out from this when it was brought up to the White House was that it's a domestic, it's a local problem. So basically, killing of young black men is not an American problem. They said it's a state local problem. So you see how the White House is pushing back.
Yeah, federal is pushing to state.
The federal is pushing this. So there's this transfer of responsibility. Nobody wants to take responsibility to the death of a black person or a melanated human being. So this whole notion is that I think the problem is policing in North America, naturally, I think they're scared of the black person. So,
but
this,
I have something to put in this one.
Let me go. I think that based on the stereotypes, based on what we've seen on TV, based on what is being published, the black man is viewed as being violent, as being rugged. Being black is viewed is connected to being
to
violence, basically. So when you are engaging a black person, the police officer or the white person, their initial instinct is to be aggressive, or they become the aggressor. They try to protect themselves. But again, the underlying undertone of all this is racism.
That's correct. I believe that.
So, policing actually starts as a means from history, as a way to catch the runaway slaves. That's how police became about. So when they catch the slaves and they're trying to run, the white men, they came together, okay, we got to form a unit that will go and search for these people, bring them back so that they can keep working for their slave masters, right? So that's how it became institutionalized, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Even the symbol that they presently still use is the same old symbol from that time when they were slave catchers.
And the sad part is the core of policing in North America, it has a racial undertone to it.
Yes.
So they thought that as a slave, if you run away, we'll catch you, we'll bring you back, you're a black person, you're violent, you want to escape,
your property.
We'll put your property, let's kill you. You know, if you resist, we'll kill you. Right? And the saddest part is we just celebrated the 50th anniversary of Martin Luther King. You were talking about the movement, the civil rights movement, just April 4th. It's like we're just coming of his death, Martin Luther King. So the legacy, what he fought for, we are still experiencing the same.
Is that not why they came up with the Black Lives Matter?
So they came up with Black Lives Matter
against like police brutality.
It's against police brutality, but still we're still having this issue because
core issue.
Let me tell you something.
What is the solution?
A black man.
We're
gonna go there. A black man is more likely to get killed, even not by a police officer, just by a white person. They would shoot you first before they talk to you. Just go to a white neighborhood in North America, all white neighborhood, and you're the black person walking around. They will shoot you before they engage you. You're more likely to get killed than a Spanish person, even than, of course, a white person. And now look at interactions between blacks or whites with police officers. White person would actually bring out the gun in front of police officers.
And
They'll tell them, drop your gun. They'll talk him down. They'll bring him down. But a white person just in New York City last week, someone has just like I think it's a pipe, a little pipe, and he was shot by 4 New York City cops.
Damn.
You know, so this is an ongoing issues from Amadou Diallo, like from it's just being black.
Diallo.
You know, just being black. And we're gonna talk about the solution. So I'll let you guys go, and I'll come up with what I think the solution is.
I'll go before we go into the question I want to ask is this: what could blacks do to minimize being killed by police officers?
So
what is the solution, right?
I don't think I disagree. Sorry to cut you off. Sorry, you guys said something earlier that blacks need to, like when they say stop, you need to stop, you need to do this, you need to basically obey the rules and regulations. Obey the rule, not the rules and regulations. Obeys what the police officer says. Like you just walk in. At that moment. You guys
don't do anything to give them
don't give them anything to give them the right.
Don't give them anything to work with.
But you are a human being, right? First and foremost, do they have that right to stop you? Even if you're not, hold on. You're not a criminal. Because we're talking about killing of innocent black men here. America is a place, is a country where they have gun laws. People can actually carry guns. They have states that carry guns. So even if you're carrying your gun, just have your gun and just walk around, right? And police stop you. If you know you're okay, you don't have any problem with the issue, right? Okay, you stop, you answer the question, and you keep moving, but they keep asking you and harassing you. Don't you have the right to walk away?
Okay, hold on, Va.
Don't you have the right to hey, I don't answer the question. I just want to leave.
Hold on. Can I ask you the question? The question I want to ask you is this: you have the right to walk away.
Okay, yeah.
Then you walk away and you get shot. Boom, you get killed.
But it's not my. But I know. You get killed. But your life is gone.
Your life is gone.
Definitely.
So, and this police officer, this white police officer, is not gonna say the truth.
So because so the issue we are blaming the black man for being killed because that's what this sounds. That's what this sounds. It's like okay.
Can I speak about my personal experience? Okay. I knew I was 100% in right to be at that place at that hour of the night. I had the luxury to dress however I wanted to dress.
True.
But at the same time, I have to be smart. I have to understand the circumstance that we're in. I know that guy, for sure, if he is investing so much time to follow me,
you might
to watch me, he's not doing it for no reason. He's doing it because
you are not the problem. He's the problem.
Okay, but you want him to die?
I know I am not the problem.
You want him to die?
But at the same time, I have to be smart. I have to be smart.
So be smart.
I have spoken to this guy before. I have explained myself to him. I live in this building.
You guys are basically saying suck up to the police.
No, we're not saying suck up to the police. We are telling you
suck up. Suck up to what the police saying so you can leave.
We're not telling you to suck up to the police. We're telling you to be smart.
To be smart.
You have to be smart.
You have to be smart.
When you are at a disadvantage, you have to be smart.
Okay, I'm not arguing that.
We have seen times where people protest.
Timi, let's go with Ola. What's your take on what Val said? Why say he feels like we're saying that blacks should suck up? How do you feel about that?
So absolutely not. That is not in any way, shape, or form anything that I just said a while ago or any of us here are saying. So what I was just saying a while ago, for example, in relation to if somebody's pulling you over, you're being smart. The same way we talk about street smarts. That is included within street smarts. The reason we call it street smarts is because people within our culture had to develop these street sense. It's not book sense. It's literally how to conduct yourself when you leave the front door of your home to get back home safely. That's what street smarts is all about, whether it be within the hustling life, whether it be just on the basketball court, or just how to conduct yourself when you're walking in the middle of the night or taking a jog in the middle of the night with a hood on your head in a neighborhood that's dominantly with people in the neighborhood who don't really look at like yourself. Another thing I want to add though, I know what we're saying is we're going to be smart, but I understand in that moment as I relived what Timi was just saying, my natural reaction wouldn't be to do what Timi did. My natural reaction would be to put him in his place. How dare he try to come follow me? Let me call the police on you because I feel threatened. So that's what I'm saying. Flip the script on the person. If this is not a police officer, you have no right to follow me. I'm a female, and I don't care what my complexion is. I could feel like, oh, what is the guy?
What did he say? I'm a female.
No, I was going to say, stop for a second. There's people that get killed all over the world where
females get killed.
Men get killed and women get killed by psychotic people who you're running, all of a sudden somebody bangs in the back of your head, throws you in the back of his vehicle, skins you, and kills you. As a man. It's not only women that get killed, men get killed as well on the streets in the middle of the night when you have headphones on your ears. So what I'm saying is the bigger issue is here, whenever you're encountering these type of situations, flip it back on them. This guy wasn't a police officer.
He's actually.
This guy, for example,
he was a police officer.
He didn't show me a badge. There's certain rules. I'm going to put something in the bottom of our comments.
Don't forget Zimmerman.
I'm going to put something in the bottom of the comments here. There's something that a gentleman, he's a lawyer, and he's pretty much teaching police officers. It's on YouTube. I'm sure everybody saw it. I watched it on Vice, and I also watched it on YouTube, and a few people sent it to me who are in the legal industry regarding what rights we have. The rights that we don't realize we actually have, what we don't have to say from what we can say. And when they say the right to remain silent, of why you should remain silent, because everything you say can and will be used against you. But anything they say, you cannot use it against them. So I'm going to put a clip in the bottom. It's just, again, street smarts, but it's not only it's from a man who is teaching police officers and lawyers. It's on YouTube. It's something I'm going to put in the link here regarding how we should conduct ourselves and behave and know our rights. But in spite of all of that, knowing your rights, and I'm sure some of these unfortunate people who were victimized knew their rights, but unfortunately things happened to them. So what I'm saying, in those circumstances, be smart. Do the least amount of things that you could do to aggravate the situation even more. Did some of them do that? Of course. And did some of them still get killed? Yes. But what I'm saying is, even besides these people, there's so many people I can list right now. There's so many people I can list right now that have had encounters with the police. It doesn't have to be about killings. Sometimes you're driving and they're pulling you over. Why are you in this neighborhood for? Sometimes they pull you over, they give you charges. I have friends who've gone to court for situations, not just on the violent side, but of profiling. It's called the racial profiling. Now here they have something where they're allowed to card you. So it's pretty much, you're talking about freedom of speech, freedom of rights, all of these things like that. They're not adhering to any of that. The only rights that's happening is their rights. They're the ones that are able to abuse it because they're the one who's supposed to enforce it. So all of that's happening here right now is the enforcers who were enforcing it, unfortunately, from the slavery times, and they're still doing that. They're enforcing the laws that are protecting them. They're supposed to be there to protect us, to protect and serve. They're protecting themselves.
Okay, Ola, we know that everything you're saying is right.
Of course.
But we know it's not going to happen that way.
Thank you.
And we know.
I wasn't saying that.
We know it's not been happening that way.
Right, you asked me regarding my opinion on the comments, so I was giving my opinion. I didn't say the realities of fixing it.
I'm going to speak on it for just 1 second, and we're going to go to conclusion. Conclusion should deal with solutions.
Okay.
Right? Now, I'm still insisting that the best way to follow this is to be smarter than them. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they have the gun. In our adage, in Igbo language, Nigerian adage, it says, if you have the yam and you have the knife, you decide the size you want to cut. Now, it's not supposed to be that way when it comes to dealing with human lives in North America. But unfortunately, it is almost that way. Because they can kill you at any time and the law will still defend them. How many police officers in the last 10 years, how many police officers have gone to prison for killing a black man?
Just a handful.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So, my own stance is this. I personally,
your solution
is this, to be smarter than them and to always have back in your mind that you are the hunted. Do you understand what I'm saying? And they are the hunters. So if you are the hunted, what do? You try to protect yourself. That's my own conclusion, actually. Go ahead.
Of course.
I think that it's so sad that we live in a world where, as a black person, you have to be thinking of protecting yourself whenever you have an encounter with a police officer. It's so sad that we live in a world where you have to teach your kids, a young black kid, man and woman, how to interact with police officers. It's so sad that we live in a world where it's justifiable to take the life of a black man systematically because we are obviously the hunted. So with all that being said, you know, I agree with being smart and teaching your kids, because the agenda is actually we're only 13% of the population in North America. If they keep killing us, they keep jailing us, the agenda is to actually remove as much black people as you can in society, right? To kill as much of us as they can, right? So if they keep killing us, we don't have people to live up or to leave our legacy or to continue on our legacy. So I understand that aspect. You have to be smart. Once you lose your life, you can't get your life. You can't get your life back.
There's no duplicate.
But I think the solution is to look at the police system that tends to kill young black human being or blacks human being and try to fix the system. What kind of training are you training? Are you giving the police officers? Hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
What kind of training are you training your police officers? Who are the people are you recruiting? Are you purposely recruiting people that will protect the concept, the underlying racist concept of having a police, or do you really want to change it? If you know that policing black people has a racial undertone, why don't you just allow blacks people or blacks in the community? I think it's better for them to have black police officers.
Okay, in the case of the last killing that happened, what's that guy's name? Stephen
Clark. Yeah.
Was it only a white police officer?
I think it's mostly white police officers.
No, I didn't decide.
It's a black
police officer with them.
But you have to understand that he's in the midst of police. It's a Sacramento police. So my solution is, I don't know. I might sound very.
You might sound
very proactive. Very black. I think blacks in North America need to have their own police force. The Black Panther movement, it's gonna be hard for them to achieve
That's
that.
Never gonna happen.
But no, we never know.
It's never gonna happen.
We never know. But
it's never gonna happen. So hold on. Are you trying to say if you come into a neighborhood, you divide like this is Syria, this?
Well, that's our reality right now.
No, it's not gonna happen.
Listen, that's our reality right now.
It's not gonna happen.
That's our reality. We are the ones being killed. We are the ones losing our life.
But the fact of saying
we're talking about solutions. I'm talking about a hypothetical solution.
Okay.
I think the solution is for blacks in North America to have their own police force, since the police system is viewing blacks as the hunted. We need to protect ourselves, and to protect ourselves, we need people that can actually have that experience, that knows how to interact with black people, that knows the black experience. And the only person that can do that is someone who is black like us.
But it's not gonna happen.
You never say never. That's why the Black Panther. That's why would you ever thought that there would be a black superhero movie ever? But it happened. In the 70s they have the Black Panther movement, let me finish. They have the Black Panther movement in the 60s, late 60s, 70s, and their goal is to protect the black neighborhood, and that was shut down. But that can also come back.
Really the Valentine.
You know? Yes.
That's the difference between reality and fiction.
It's not fiction. It's not fiction.
Reality.
Oh, it's not fiction. It's almost reality.
Ola, let's go to your
It was reality. So my solution is we need to come up with our own police system, if it's possible, police black neighborhood, teach our kids, like they were saying, how to actually, if that's not possible, teach our kids how to protect ourselves, how to interact with police officers so that we can stay alive. And the bottom line is figure out a way to actually fight racism.
Okay,
and fight racism in a good way.
You'll get your own police station.
I will. I will start it.
Ola, let's go with your conclusion, please.
So my conclusion on this, because again, this is a hot topic and there's no really right or wrong answers because it's a problem. And when you have a problem in life, everybody's trying to pull for a solution. So for my solution, my conclusion on the matter is that, of course, we have to keep trying. So the key is, the base point for me is always starting with street smarts. The same way you teach your kids book smarts, teach them street smarts. Stand up for yourself. You must stand up for your rights, though. I don't say to just lay down and just bow down. No one's saying that. We're just saying to be smart. In everything you do, we're supposed to be smart. So in this scenario, as much as you can. And in those situations where it's out of your hands, where you've done your best and they're profiling you, they're following you, and all these different things like that, instead of you using your mouth to defend yourself, go legal with it. Sue them. Get your family, you yourself as an adult, go against them as well. It may sound like, okay, that's small, but if enough people...
But you have to be alive.
Exactly. So get past that point. Get past the point and throw it back in their garden. If enough people keep pushing back, because where it hurts people is their bank account. People, if it's not hurting them with us protesting, hurt them, get them where it hurts. It's their money. It's the politicians. Force them, let them know that, oh, you sign up for this, and let them get them to do something about it. Besides us as a community doing something, because we also have to, we've been doing it every day. Everybody who has children does it, I'm sure. Everybody who has nieces and nephews does it. They try to instill in them values and things of how to look at life. But the system is not changing. So the only way to change the system, I think, is from within the system. You push against the system by sending back, suing, doing all these different things, but also people getting into jobs or getting into careers where you're going into being a politician, getting into being a lawyer, getting into where you're a lawmaker, getting into where you're actually going into the police force. So if we want to see difference, we have to continue to impact those things. And listen, we're not where we were 50 years ago, but we still have a lot further to go. So I say we all continue to try, work with each other. Don't fight amongst ourselves, because one person here is Black Lives Don't Matter. This person over here is another thing. Listen, we all have the same agenda. The agenda is for our lives to continue. If we know that they're attacking us and we're like going like sheep to the slaughter and they're putting people into jails and prison, we need to push against the system to the
How do you push against the system, right?
I was just describing how to push against the system. You have to individually do things, get into the system, and don't take no for an answer. So if you say not getting in the system is not an answer, not telling your children is not an answer, then you're giving up. We refuse. I refuse to give up.
Okay.
So
I'm not giving up. I will never give up.
Hold on. Let's go with Timi. Timi, let's go with your conclusion.
I think people need to understand the situation that they're dealing with. You have to understand that there's a war going on. You're on the battlefield. Every day as a young black guy, when you go outside, it's a battlefield. You got to know how to survive for us as a war. You want to come back home alive, you have to know how to move. The moment that I noticed that guy was following me, I've had a conversation with him. I have done my own assessment of him, and I know that this guy has come to his own conclusion. He has his own agenda. He's not following me for no reason.
Yeah.
He's following me because he's done his calculations. He's put it together from whatever he's going in his head. Why is this black guy? I'm not light skinned. I'm dark skinned. Why is this black guy in this neighborhood at this time of the night? I have done the first thing that I thought would be smart to do: engage him in a conversation. Conversation is out.
And it didn't work.
Conversation is encouraged. I told him.
That's being smart, by the way. That's what you guys are promoting.
No, relax.
Each time.
I had the conversation with him because sometimes conversation goes a long way. Believe me, you might disagree with it, but if I have proven to you that I live in this place, I'm not against security. If your job is a security man and your job is to protect the place, and
Identify yourself.
and you see something suspicious,
identify yourself.
I can conversate with you. I walk up to him.
So being black is being suspicious?
At that moment,
As at that time, it's suspicious.
So
You have to look at the environment.
Racism.
No.
That's racism. It's not supposed to be that.
Hold on.
He should have identified personally. I think he should have identified himself. And the fact he didn't identify himself as a security or police.
He did identify himself as a security. Let me talk. We had a conversation.
Right.
He did identify.
He did identify himself.
He did say he was security.
He showed a badge. He showed some kind of proof.
I didn't know.
The reason I'm saying that to you is just because for everybody who's going through the same situation you just went through, is the moment they don't show proof, this person could be a stalker trying to come kill you. Look how much serial killers are out there. I don't care if you're a black man outside somewhere. They could lynch you, grab you.
Well, he was
not proof or no proof. Listen, proof or no proof. You're a black man has been profiled. The bottom line is that how can you call the police on the police on the police is trying to kill you. You're calling the system that's trying to kill you.
Excuse me, guys. Tim, are you finished with your conclusion?
No.
Okay, can you
that car was a police car. Anybody in Halifax is familiar with that car. We know, I grew up in the city. I know that police people protect that area. I know. I paid for it. They told me will have security people driving around at night protecting the area. So I am not surprised that somebody's following me. I am surprised that after I have gone and I have had a conversation with you, and I've told you I live in this building, I am just taking a run. You were still following me, and you acted like you were leaving. He drove off, just for me to be driving back, and I see that that same car is still tracking me.
Okay, so Tim,
now, there were two things. I wanted to go back and confront him. But at the same time, I thought that was not smart.
No, because he will shoot you where you're confronting.
I thought that was not smart, because at this time, I was agitated already. I was boiling up. I have had a conversation with him. I have assessed him one-on-one. I can take him. But I thought that was not smart. Okay. And I understand the most important thing at this very moment is for me to go back to my house and address this another time. I have had this conversation in university. I went to my university. We had the talks about how black. I don't know if anybody's familiar. Nova Scotia is known for its black community, and at the same time they are known for the police brutality against the black community in Nova Scotia. Yeah, that's a whole different topic. I have done my part. I have made my statement. I have shared my story, and I have shared how I was able to come out of that situation. I believe somebody has tried that, where he's been like, you know what, the best thing to me to do right now is for me to just stay calm. This guy already, he's ready to kill me. He's looking for a reason to kill me.
He has a reason to kill you, and he would have killed you if you didn't go home.
People can be running. Hold on, sorry, Pascal. We have young black men that actually do the same thing that he did, and they still get shot. Okay. We have young black men that can actually be walking away and still get shot. Okay. We have young black men that will have conversations and show an ID and will still get shot. And that's just the list that we have back to back to back to back. So it's not about being smart. These guys are being smart. They walked around, they have those conversations, and they still get shot. It's rarely do you actually see them arguing with a police officer.
Obviously, the police system. We all know the problem.
Okay, let's use the right English. I want what you want to use. Let me use the English for you. The police system is fucked up.
Yes, the police. We understand the police system is fucked up.
Okay, please, guys.
It's more important for you to stay alive.
We have dragged this along. Let's leave it to the viewers.
Say your opinion on it. We never heard your conclusion on it.
My conclusion is that you guys have said everything. My conclusion is that the police system is fucked up. I'm gonna use the language again. The police system is fucked up.
I wouldn't say the police system, man, because I've met some really nice people.
I'm gonna beg all the black people in North America, if you're my skin, please be smart. No. If they approach you, it's not called sucking up. If they say put your hands up, my brother, put your hands up.
Get home safe.
If they say go on the floor, my brother, don't let them slam you on the floor. They might kill you by slamming you. Go on the floor. Obey them, but make sure that every time they approach you, that you are in the right, and do not challenge them if you are by yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying?
The camera.
Do not challenge them if you're by yourself. Even if you have a camera, don't say, oh, I can challenge with my camera, because they can kill you and delete that footage. Play safe. Yeah. Be smart.
You gotta be smart.
Be smart. Play safe. Be smart. My name is
game,
Pascal Atuma. This is House of Commerce. Instagram Pascal Atuma. Facebook Pascal Atuma. Twitter Pascal Atuma.
My name is Timi Manuel. Instagram Timi Carter. As you see, I'm still alive. I played smart.
Okay, Val.
VDD Val on Instagram. I'm the radical one here, alright? So
don't follow him. Don't follow him. Don't listen
he
to
thinks
him.
he's the radical one.
No.
Ola George. You can follow me on Instagram.
I think what you're saying is right.
Ola George.
I think what you're saying is right.
Hold on.
Also, you could follow us on our new Instagram, our new Twitter, and our new Facebook page as well. And please, we're looking for your support as well, and donate.
We've been doing House of Commons for years now. We've never asked for donation, but we're trying to take it to the next level, and I know you guys like what we do. So we need donations now from all over the world. You're gonna see the link on there. Donate to House of Commons, so we can make everything look better. We can take it up a notch. We can have close-up shots. We can have two shot mediums. We can have everything you need, and we're gonna make sure.
So I don't have to be radical.
No.
Tell us what you need.
So please, hit us up on Instagram, the House of Commons. Hit us personally. Donate, and let's make this a bigger show.
Perfect.
And I will promise you guys when I give it to you. House of Commons.
Perfect. House of Commons.
House of Commons.
House of
Thanks
Commons.
for watching. House of Commons.
Public service announcement. He's not radical.
I'm not radical.
He's very radical.